Going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Blitz the Books. How you doing, Mike?
Man, I can't complain. Wade, glad to be back with you here. Week 8 already in college football. Week 7 of the NFL. I'm pumped, man. Don't even have a hat today. I'm going just straight bald style today. Slick bald guy, look like Mr. Clean up in here. Can't wait. Let's go.
Absolutely love it, man. How'd your picks go last night? Did you have any action on any of the games?
I did not. I set it out actually, and just couldn't get a feel for it, man. I wanted to bet the Broncos, but once it hit 3, I didn't want to mess with that, and I don't know. Just anytime I see that big a line move, I think the Saints open -2.5. Then next thing you know, a few days later, because all the injuries, it goes flip flops to Denver -2.5. Then it hits 3, and just didn't feel good about it, man. But yeah, just passed. It was a weird game, kind of a turd for a Thursday night game. We get a few of those during the season. How about you? Did you have anything? Did you win anything?
Yeah, we were on Audric Estime to go over his rushing yards. We missed two other props. We were on Kamara receiving yards,
Yeah,
Nick's passing yards. And then once I saw that Boston College line run up to plus 9.5, I actually moved it to 10 and took plus 10.
yeah.
Man, they
Nice.
made a really nice comeback in the third quarter there. They scored 21 unanswered points. It was 28 nothing last night. They got it back to 28 to 21, and then they just fell apart again. Ended up losing by like 21 points. So their quarterback turned the ball over like three times
Ah.
yesterday. So
That's always rough, man. And
brutal.
we both lost to Sam Houston State on Wednesday. I thought that was the right side, man. They end up poor Hunter Watson goes out hurt, and once he got hurt, it just the offense just wasn't
Yeah, I
there.
don't like to say the injury caused that, but when he was playing, they had two passing touchdowns. I believe he was like 6 for 9, so they were really rolling, and then they just went downhill. So I do think that injury played a factor. Maybe they wouldn't have won the game, but they wouldn't have lost like that. It would have been a very close game at the
Yeah,
end.
agreed.
Um, Western Kentucky was tough. Honestly, before I took that pick, I didn't know there was a trend. Western Kentucky's 15-4-1
Wow,
against the spread as underdogs in the Sun Belt Conference, and they're 6-0 against the spread as favor or as with the winning record.
did not know
So
that.
yeah, had I seen that before I made that play, maybe I would have stayed off of that one. I'm not really a trend guy, but that's a trend that
Yeah,
really stuck out to me later in the week that I saw. So it happens, but man, I'm excited to get to the show today. We've each got two college football picks. We each have two NFL picks.
let's
Um,
go.
let's get right into it, man. We're gonna go first. We're gonna go the Georgia Texas game. We're looking at Texas right now. That line has moved from I believe a 3.5 to a 5.5 right now. Sitting at a money line of -198, and the total is over under 57.5. Um, what do you got for us on this one, man?
Man, this is one of the ones where I obviously disagree with a lot of the pro betters because pro money has apparently hammered Texas all week long. I played Georgia +3.5, thought I was getting a deal. Wish I'd have waited. Just I really thought it would trend more back toward 3, and I wanted that hook. But yeah, now I'm seeing like you are up out to 5. Wish I would have waited, but yeah, I'm just bullish on the Bulldogs for lack of a better way of putting it, man. It's like I get it. Texas is a well-oiled machine so far, just not quite ready to be a big time believer. Like I think they probably win the game, but I just don't see it about more than a field goal here. Yeah, we know UGA had the loss to Bama, which does look a little bit worse considering Bama's kind of lost their footing the last couple weeks, losing to Vandy and then barely getting by with squeaker in South Carolina. But still, overall, you look at UGA, their strength of schedule, they played the 12th toughest schedule in the country, according to Sagarin. That's a lot more battle tested in Texas. Texas strength schedule just 64th. So I get it. Yours is a beast. He is back and rolling. He absolutely crushed Oklahoma last week. I get why Texas is favored. I just don't think it should be this much, man. I think Carson Beck finds a way to keep his team in it. I also like Trevor Etienne. Georgia has some weapons, and I just think they're a little more battle tested. I think Kirby has a better game plan this time. He really fell behind a lot against Bama. I don't see that happening here in their second big time game this year. So I'm just expecting a close game. That's why I like the dogs. But it does scare me disagreeing with the pro money, but got to trust my numbers, trust my gut. What do you got?
I feel you, man. Obviously, as a Texas fan, this is a tough game, but I actually jumped on the Georgia +4, so I'm right there
Yeah,
with you. I'm a
you got a better number than I
little
did.
upset that we're not sitting on this +5.5 right now. I think that fifth point could come into coming to hand. I really would like Texas just to win this game by 3, so I can get it to win on both sides here.
There you go. Come on.
Yeah, you kind of pretty much said everything that I truly believe on this game, man. They really have the same strength of record. I'm looking at Georgia with a ranked seventh strength of record. Texas is sixth. Strength of
Sure.
schedule, like you said, Georgia's seventh. Texas was 82nd.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Exactly.
it's just tough. You look at it, Texas's offensive efficiency is seventh, their defensive efficiency is second. But if you add in the strength of schedule, that really plays into those factors. And then you look at Georgia, they're 11th in offensive efficiency and 28th in defensive efficiency, and they've just played a lot of tough games. So I think when these two teams face each other, those numbers are going to really come down and really be competitive with each other.
Yeah.
Um, I just think it's going to be, like you said, Georgia's battle tested with all of the transfer stuff going on now. It's almost like every team is half new every year. So
Yeah.
for me
Definitely.
moving forward, it's really hard to like look back and say, "Oh, Georgia's been all these big games." Well, half of their team's probably not the same as it was last year, so it's hard for me to pull on those strings. But I just overall, this is a spot where Texas hasn't been tested yet. They're 6-0. They're bound to have a letdown game, even if they win. It's going to be tough to blow out a team like Georgia. They just have the talent. They have the strength. Um, Texas's offensive and defensive lines really worry me here. But I think Georgia can just make enough. Even if Texas gets up big, it's going to be tough for me to think Georgia can come back like they did on Alabama.
Yeah.
But I do think that Carson Beck plays better from behind. They can open up that passing game where he's found some really good weapons recently. So I like the play. If Texas blows them out, so be it. But I think the right move, the sharp play, should be on Georgia to cover. Um,
Love it. I'm
we'll
glad
see,
we're in
man.
agreement, man, because a lot of other people disagree with us. So it's good.
Texas has looked good, but you know how it
Man.
goes. They always come back to reality world, and they just haven't seen that
Yeah.
competition yet. So
Yeah. I
we'll see.
agree.
We'll see. And my big one here is we're gonna look at the Nebraska and Indiana game. Man, obviously I'm
Oh,
sitting
yes.
here in Indiana right now,
Yes.
so I'm a little biased. Indiana's spread is -6.5. They have a -230 money line, and the total is 49.5 in this game. So
Got you.
bookmakers have actually moved this. I believe it was 5 to open. Could have been wrong on that. Might have been 4.5, but I know it's moved up to 6.5. I actually grabbed Indiana at -5.5 before it jumped
Nice.
over.
Nice.
Um, this is a tough one, man. Indiana's got a really good defense. Indiana has a really good offense. Nebraska has a really good defense.
Yeah.
Um, it's just tough. Indiana's one of the best passing offenses in the country. They rank number one in pass efficiency as far as success rate goes. Um, I just didn't. Rayola is a freshman quarterback in a really big spot here, and I think Rourke has really outplayed him so far. I actually trust Signetti in game action over Matt Rule. I mean, he's a really good coach too, but I just think Signetti's got them rolling in the right direction. Um, I think Indiana's just going to be able to move the ball. They've ranked 12th in passing yards per game. They rank 7th in passer rating, 12th in yards per completion, and 34th in allowing their QB to get sacked. So they protect him pretty well, and he gets rid of the ball in a timely fashion. I think this is a really big spot for a freshman quarterback to come in on the road and
Yeah.
try to beat an Indiana team that's just firing all cylinders right now. And one of the biggest discrepancies that I found in this game is Indiana is ranked 12th in the country in red zone scoring. They score at a
Wow.
96.5% clip. So they've scored 30 touchdowns and 37 trips. And pretty much when
Woo.
they don't score a touchdown, they at least put up points on the board with a field goal.
Woo.
This is a wide difference where Nebraska sits 108th in the country out of 134 teams at finishing in the red zone. They're sitting right around 75% clip. Indiana's defense isn't like spectacularly over the top to shut you down, but I do think with that discrepancy there, they can find enough stops in the game where they can at least be up 2 field goals for me. Seven's a lot, especially in this spot.
Sure.
I do think Indiana can still win this game by 7 or more. But
Yeah.
if all you can get is 6.5 right now, I'd take it. But I think that's the right side here.
Yeah. I like the number you got on that. I definitely lean toward the Hoosiers. Didn't bet it, but I'm like you, man. I trust Curtis O'Rourke. I
Yeah,
mean, that kid, I made a ton of money on him when he was at Ohio. Also made a
yeah,
ton of money on his brother when his brother Nathan Rourke, I
yep,
think, was
yep.
also Ohio QB. Feels like this is the fifth generation Rourke that's good with his arm and his legs. So I love a dual threat QB. I do like Nebraska's freshman QB, but again, you nailed it. Still a freshman, still playing on the road. I think Indy can get a couple turnovers out of him. and that'll help you win your bet there. So yeah, I could definitely see maybe like a 30-20 type of game with Indiana pulling away late, hopefully for you there. Yeah, I like it, dude.
I love that score
Hometown
actually.
Hoosiers.
Very good prediction. Very nice. Well, without the college football, man, let's actually, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and give out you guys a little sleeper for tonight.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
I don't have a pick on any of the games tonight yet. I may put one out a little
Bonus,
bit later. I still need to dig
bonus
a little
bet for the
bit.
people. Bonus bet for the people.
There's a prop that I really like tonight. I feel like this is a mispriced, maybe not a mispriced line, but the line itself is just wrong. Dylan Gabriel under 35 and a half pass attempts against Purdue tonight. Um, I actually think this line's pretty wild. Gabriel has gone over this line twice, technically one time in the last five starts. He went over the very first game against one of the FCS schools. I'm not going to count that game. No
Yeah,
QBs have passed for more than this against Purdue because they haven't had to. Purdue ranks
right.
130th out of 134 teams, allowing 39 points per game, and they allow plenty
Woo!
of explosives to go with it. Purdue ranks
Oh, oh,
120th, allowing 100 plays of 10 plus or more. They rank
huh,
128th, allowing 38 plays of 20 plus or more. They rank
that's crazy.
94th with 14 plays of 30 plus, and 80th of 7 plays of 40 plus or more. All
Wow.
while Oregon ranks 35th with 97 plays of 10 plus or more, 50th with 30 plus plays of 20 plus or more, 42nd with 14 plays of 30 plus or more, 13th with 10 plus of 40 plus, and they rank second in the country with 8 plays of 50 plus yards or more. So I just
Wow.
think game script, Oregon's going to have some explosive plays on Purdue. They're going to get up pretty early, and then they're just not going to really need to pass the ball. They're going to move the ball pretty efficiently on
Yeah.
the ground and in the air. And they're the only reason for him to throw the ball 36 times is if it's a shootout, kind of like last week when Purdue played Illinois. And even in that game, that was a super high scoring game. Illinois' quarterback finished with 35 passes. So
There you go. That's an excellent point, Wade. You know, I'm a big median guy. You pull up Gabriel's median on the year as far as attempts, only 33. So I don't get the line either, man. I'm right there with you. Especially Oregon's favored by a ton of points. You would think that they'll get in the fourth quarter and just hand the ball off.
he might not even be in the game at that point.
Exactly, exactly. So I love the under in this spot. I don't think enough people, when they're playing props, think about game script. And so if you're going to play a prop like this over, then you almost have to bet Purdue. I don't see Purdue hanging with Oregon, so there's
Oh,
no way.
Purdue plus 29. Yeah, 1000%.
Yeah, exactly. And
The
if
problem is
this
they
line
might
was like 10, if it was closer and they're expecting a closer game, I could see them needing to throw more. But with
They
it
might
being
be able
almost
to keep it
30,
close. Oregon's coming off a huge win against Ohio State. This is
true,
automatically a letdown spot for them.
true.
Not to
Oh
mention
yeah,
they've got to
all
travel
day,
across the country.
all
And
day.
when Purdue made that change to their quarterback last week, that guy threw for almost 400 yards, if I'm not
You
mistaken. And
did
I think he can pass the ball a lot better than Cards. So
right.
Oregon, actually, the last two games has allowed a ton of passing yards, and they have not been efficient with pass defense. Obviously, they played Ohio State, but Michigan State passed the ball on them pretty well too. So Purdue could find that plus 29. I wouldn't put it past. If I would probably not hate laying a half unit on that, but I'm not gonna do it. I do think
Yeah,
it's the right side though because I
my
just think
yeah, you nailed it, Wade. I actually had my eye on Purdue at the opener. I think it opened like something stupid, like 32 and a half.
oh
And
oh
I went in to bet it, and it timed me out. It timed me out a couple times, but by the time I was ready to get it in, it was already at like 29. I'm like,
yeah.
screw it. Once I lose
32
3
and a
points,
half would have been beautiful.
yeah. But that was only it was out there Sunday afternoon for not even a few minutes. Like
Okay,
it just I missed it. And once I miss it, I'm OCD. Once I miss a number, I'm like, there's like 60 other games on the board.
right.
We'll find another one.
Yeah, no, if I would not chase lines either. Maybe if it's moved down a half a point or maybe a
Sure,
point,
sure. Yeah, it's
I'll go
different.
after
It's
it. But
different. Yeah,
yeah, that's a good one. Well, let's move to the NFL, man, and we've got a pretty good matchup here. I
like
kind of surprised you actually took this matchup.
yeah,
This is a pretty tough game to handicap. You've got Seattle at Atlanta right now. They got Atlanta at -3 spread, a
yeah,
-155 money line, and the total is right now 51 and a half.
yeah.
What are you thinking about this one?
Man, it's probably my favorite bet on the board this week. The
Okay,
Bird Bowl, baby. I said this on one of my other shows with OZP. The Bird Bowl. You can't beat it. Seahawks
okay,
against Falcons here. I'm going Seahawks +3, man. I don't
okay.
understand the line. I get it to a point because Atlanta's looked so much better. But here again, I like to bet like an investor, buy low, sell high. Great spot to buy low on Seattle, in my opinion. I get it. They've lost three in a row, so people are kind of doubting them a little bit. But let's talk about who they lost to. They lost to San Francisco and Detroit, two of the top teams in the NFL. I can't really dock their power rating based on two losses to elite teams, right? They're going to get figured out, man. At the same time, Atlanta, yeah, they've won three straight. Good time to sell them at a high. But look who they've beaten. They've beaten two of those games were against subpar teams. We saw last night the Saints are a dumpster fire, all those injuries. They beat the Saints and they beat the Panthers, arguably the worst team in the NFL in the Panthers. So just not really buying into the hype yet with Atlanta. I do like seeing Kirk Cousins get it figured out and play well. He's a good Christian guy. I like Kirk Cousins a lot as far as a person. But yeah, I just think it's a good spot to jump on Seattle, getting the full field goal here. I think the line still should have made Atlanta a favorite since they are at home, but I wouldn't have favored by more than 1.5 or so. So getting that full field goal is nice. Also expect Geno Smith to play a lot better than he has lately. If you look at this guy's numbers, I didn't write down specifics or anything, but him indoors, anytime Geno is in a dome, he is money usually. Way better than playing outside the elements. Obviously, this game will be played in Atlanta, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, indoor stadium. Just love Seattle, and his trio receivers are really the
Yeah.
best receiving core in the NFL. We got DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and JSN, baby Jackson Smith and Jigba. Whew, plenty of weapons for Geno. I think they win it outright or at least keep it close, man. Tough call, but yeah, I'm just going to buy Seattle here at a low. Any thoughts from you, Mr. Wade, on that one? That's a tough one, but
No, I actually really like that. I think I'm probably gonna end up playing that and probably giving that out as a play to my
sweet.
members as well. And
That's
obviously
so
I'm not
good.
gonna get the 3.5. I'm gonna have to take the +3. I
Sure,
don't ever mind playing for
that's
the
what I
push. If I
played
get a
at.
push, I'll take my money back.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I
I'm still
played it.
gonna loss. I think that the key to this game is going to be those three wide receivers. I don't see how they're going to stop all three. I think Jackson and Smith and Jigba is going to have a really big game. I think they're going to put a lot of focus on Metcalf, and Seattle's running game is going to start coming back to fruition too. So Walker back, and then their backup. I can't remember how to pronounce his name, but he can make explosive plays in the passing game,
Yeah,
and he's had
sharp.
some
Yeah,
experience now. Yeah, he's had some experience now running the ball a little bit, so they can kind of use those two-headed monsters and kind of keep Atlanta's defense at bay. And um, like you said, Geno Smith in a dome. I think this is. I think we'll see some kicking points in this game, and with a
yeah.
lot of kicking points, I think you have a close game. So um,
Let's get it.
I like it, man. I'm gonna go ahead and
Appreciate
lock
it.
that one in with you.
Nice.
And then we're gonna
Seattle
move
plus
to
three
yeah, I'll take the +3.
all
I actually
day.
think I might dabble and sprinkle a little bit on that money line for
Yeah,
Seattle, so I think it's
yeah,
worth
no
it this
doubt.
week.
No doubt.
I
No
really
doubt.
like that spot of the get right spot,
Yeah, it is. I think
buy
it's a
low
good
spot,
price.
buy high spot, sell high spot kind of thing. So
Yeah, you can get
Atlanta's due for a
Seahawks on the
loss.
money line plus 130 right now at either DK, FanDuel, or
I
MG.
don't see why you can't
We'll see.
lay $50 down on that half unit, 25
Yeah,
bucks if you're $50 better, and
definitely.
I
Yeah, I'm
think
right
it's a
there.
good play. So I'm gonna
Sweet.
move to the Sunday night game here. We've
Yeah.
got
Oh yeah, I can't wait to
maybe
hear
an
this.
ugly
Come on,
matchup.
Wade.
We've got maybe our Thursday and our Sunday night games are going to be some ugly games. We got two defenses with some relatively questionable offenses right now.
Right.
Jets at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's
Yep.
a +2 spread, so they've got Jets favored right now -2.
Hmm.
They got Jets money line -130, and the total of this game is over 38.5. Um,
Wow.
I don't know, man. This is one of those games. I'm not really sure who's gonna win the full game. I think you've got two really good defenses, and when you have two really good defenses, you just don't know how those offenses are gonna be able to move the ball.
Agreed.
Which which side is gonna attack what, I guess, on the other team. Who's gonna run the ball more? Who's gonna pass the ball more? Which one of those is actually gonna be successful against these defenses? Because the Jets are really hard to pass on.
Yep.
Um, I don't think you can really run on them much either. So I feel like Pittsburgh's gonna have an uphill battle here. There's a few reasons why I really liked the spot that I took. I went ahead and took the Jets first half money line. I got that minus
Nice.
110 on Bet 365.
Good number.
I think it's a pretty good price. Um, The Jets are now in their second game with their new head coach and their offensive coordinator, so I think that bodes well for Rodgers now being in his second game, getting a little more comfortable, figuring out how to work in the run game with the passing. I think they're going to start focusing a little bit more on the run game to open up the pass game for Rodgers.
Hmm.
Surprisingly, the Jets have led at halftime in three of their last four games.
Yep.
And Pittsburgh, on the other hand, is trending the other way, where they have allowed opponents to be winning four of their six games so far at halftime. Some other stats that we have in the first halves: Jets averaged 9.7 points, while they only allow basically 8 points. Good for a 1.66 differential, while the Steelers average only 6.7 points in the first half, and they allow 11.2 points
Love it.
in the first half. So that's a minus 450 differential. Um, Another factor that really stuck out to me here is it sounds like Russell Wilson may be getting the start.
Yep.
And last few times we've seen him, he hasn't looked great. He's made
Yeah.
some pretty poor decisions with the ball. And I just think with the first half play, you've got Russell Wilson coming in if he plays, and even if he doesn't, if Fields starts, they're going up against a really tough defense. So I just don't think either Fields or Wilson, they're going to really have a tough time moving the ball. And surprisingly, Chris Boswell, the Steelers kicker, he's currently third in the league with 58 points. The whole entire Pittsburgh Steelers offense has 11 total touchdowns, which is 66 points. So their kicker almost has more points than their total offense. So you're going to take that offense against this really tough Jets
Wow.
defense. I just
Ooh.
don't see how this isn't like a 6-0 or a six
Yes.
to three, 7-3, 10-3 type of game in the first half. I
I
just
like
think it's going to take a minute for this Pittsburgh offense to find anything against this Jets defense. And I believe the way I took it, if they tie, I get a push.
it. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll take the
That's it.
push.
Money
I'll
line.
take the push lean. I'll take the fact that Rodgers, they came out really hot this last game against the Bills, and they were up 17-10 at halftime. I think they can do that again. They only scored like 3 points the rest of the game. So the first half, I think, is big for them. They like to start fast. They like to get Wilson the ball early. Um,
Yep.
I don't know what's going on with the running game with the Jets, but I think they can get that figured out. I just like this spot.
Yeah, great spot, dude, and I'm really glad you hit on this. It was definitely on my final leans list. Did not pull the trigger, but fits my bounce theory perfectly. Pittsburgh off a big blowout win. Jets off a Monday
Yeah,
night football loss. Pretty
yeah.
devastating loss to Buffalo, but my goodness, good bounce back spot for them. Also, they bringing in Rodgers' best friend Devontae Adams. My goodness, talk about having Devontae Adams and Garrett Wilson to throw to. That is sweet
Hey, and
for
I
Jets.
like Lazard. I know he drops passes,
Yeah.
but
Hey, he caught the Hail Mary though. Caught the Hail
yeah,
Mary, and then you hit a good point there as far as like Pittsburgh. Like, I don't know. I get it. I get it. That it is a very sound defense, but you look at Pittsburgh's played 26th in strength of schedule according to Sagarin. 26th. They hadn't really played anybody, man. And so this is a big step up in class for Pittsburgh here. I get it. They're at home. It'll be rocking Heinz Field, rocking for Sunday Night Football. I understand that. But I don't see Rodgers losing two in a row. I know there's the big shakeup with the coaching staff and all that, but they really should have won that game on Monday night. They did not play that badly. They kind of give it away, missed some field goals.
yeah,
I expect them to figure out their red zone woes a little bit. I think they get the running game going. Brees Hall had a good game on that football. Also love the young rookie out of Wisconsin, Braylon Allen.
yeah.
Heck of a backup running back. He would start on most teams. So yeah, good spot here, and we're and you're. I love the first half angle. Wouldn't mind the full game as well, but I like the first half angle just with the statistics you backed it up with. That's why you pay Wade the $15 a month, folks. That kind of analysis right there. He's even breaking down the first half to figure out where the better edge is, where the more positive EV play is, whether it's full game, whether it's first half. So yeah, I just can't stress that enough. It's easy money. Sign away. Dear Lord, we're talking about what? Not even $4 a week. Not even $4. Skip Starbucks one day. Skip Dunkin', wherever your favorite coffee is. Just skip it one day. Pay Wade instead. And he'll win you all kind of coffee money gambling. I mean,
Well,
teaching you how to bet smart, putting you on the right side. It's hard to beat the books, man. The books are not idiots, but Wade's been doing it several years. That's my plug for him. And yeah, I
yeah, I
don't.
appreciate that, man. I appreciate that a lot. We put a lot of work into this, so as you
Yes,
do
you
too,
do.
we all do. It's tough to beat the books, like you said.
It
Last
is.
week, I believe we were up plus five. something units in college football and over 4+ units last week in NFL. So
Nice.
keep doing that over the full season. We've got a really nice season ahead of us. So
No
it's been
doubt.
pretty profitable every week so far. So yeah, man, give us a look. We do a lot of player props. We pick and choose on the game line side. I feel like the game lines in the NFL are just so hard to beat. As we've seen, my last 2 weeks of game lines have been very rough, but our props have saved us. So
Nice. That
you know,
boy.
it's one of those things where it's tricky. But you guys go ahead, make sure you guys go check out eatwatchbet.com.
Hmm.
We've got hellorookie.com
Yep.
and we've got bettersinsider.com.
Yeah.
All
All
three
three.
places you can go get free bet articles from all sorts of writers, all the sports. If you guys look in the bottom right hand corner of your screen. I think it'll be the right. No, it'll be the left hand corner of your screen. You can see the logos for these companies. Make sure you guys check them out. If you guys ever need to sign up for a book, please go to eatwatchbet.com and navigate to their sportsbook site. You can check out your state, see what sports books are available, and see what deposit matches they have. A lot of the times they'll have a deposit $5, bet $5, you get 250 back or 100
Yep.
back. If you're looking to build your bankroll, looking to start betting or open up a new book, please use that, utilize that.
Yep.
Don't just throw $20, $50, $100, $200, and they're not getting anything for it. So,
That's it.
um, yeah, go to ewatchbet.com for sure. Get free article bets every sport, and yeah, man, let's have a great weekend. Let's cash our tickets, and good luck to everybody out there.
Yeah. Thank y'all for watching. Be blessed. Boom.
Appreciate you guys.